Bob here. Finally got some sunscreen for my face. You would not believe how bad the sunburns can get out here if you're not careful. We've started walling off the town, and Joe on guard duty up there said, maybe we should hide these flamethrower traps and those turrets over there. And I looked at him and I said, Joe, if somebody sees that we're defended and they decide that they don't want to cause trouble, then they're just going to walk the other way. Is that such a bad thing? He thought about it and said, Bob, I think you're right. So we've got a gun check cage here. If Joe does decide to let you in, he'll bring you down here and check your guns and store your ammo for you. We don't necessarily want to have strangers wandering around the town armed. But if somebody does decide that they're going to get cute, Joe's got some options available to him. He can hit this panic button and start up the turrets over there and sound the alarm to let everybody know something's up, but he can also hit this switch that I call burn. And frankly, that is going to incinerate anybody that decides that they want to cause trouble. I figure that if the flamethrowers and having Molotov cocktails thrown all over the place is not enough to get someone to go away, well, nothing will. We've got a new face, only this guy is actually a really old face. This guy was a traveling salesman before the war. He actually came to my door the very morning that the bombs dropped. And I was kind of an asshole to him. I ran into him in Good Neighbor. I couldn't believe that it was actually the same guy. He was looking for a place to call home. So I said, come on down to Starlight. We'll set you up. And he has repaid that kindness in spades because he has set up one hell of a junk shop here. He has got everything, and if he doesn't have it, he knows a guy who can get it. It's just unbelievable the amount of crap that this guy has drug in such a short amount of time. But it's really helped the amount of caps that we're bringing into the settlement. And he claims that everything here is organized. I'll be darned if I understand it. Example, that wood pile there. Okay, I get that. But this, how is that organized? I don't know. Whatever it is, it works for him. You'd think that he'd be resentful of Voltec after everything happened, but he actually collects those bobbleheads. I said I'd give him any that I ran across in the waste. I mean, it's not like they're doing anything for me. We put the boat on top of his shack there one night when he was asleep. Didn't even wake him up. We just drug it up there piece by piece, and we thought it'd be a funny joke and he'd get mad. He actually it was kind of sweet. He said that no one had ever liked him enough before to play a joke on him. I mean, what do you say to something like that? I don't know. The only thing I can do is try to be nicer to the guy, especially nicer to him than I was the day that the bombs dropped. I sent McCready back to Sanctuary because, well, a nice guy, good family man, but he was annoying. And to be honest, I think he's actually taught me everything that he can about marksmanship. I can't actually believe I'm saying this, but I'm turning into a crack shot, which was important in the Glowing Sea. If the Glowing Sea wasn't hell, it was right next door. I ran into some Children of Adam cultists that pointed me to Virgil, and although Virgil was not exactly what I was expecting, he was able to point me to an Institute courser, said that I needed the chip out of his head. I don't know why I'm always end up having to dig around in people's brain pans. It's gross. I don't want to do it. But I'll do anything that I gotta do to find my boy.
You better not cause any.
And with the plans that Virgil was able to provide, I'm going to be able to build something called a molecular relay. It's like something out of science fiction. It teleports people. And as good as I am, I don't think that I can build this on my own. I'm going to need help. And somebody said the railroad, but the railroad are a bunch of nut jobs. And somebody said the Minutemen, but the Minutemen consist of Preston Garvey and nobody else. There's one group out here that I think actually has the technology and the resources to help me. And even though I'm wary of their motives and their methods, I can play along well enough to have them help me build the relay and find Sean. Ad Victoriam, brothers.